Hello, friends. Sorry for being behind today. Ali has other things that came up, even though I checked with him yesterday. Shh. You owe me one, Ali. But like we said, this is we are building in public, and so City Clips, for those who might be catching this recording, is all about a newsletter that we're building in public. That's why we do these weekly lives. We give everyone our updates. We're documenting our experience, and we're talking about specific topics related to how we're growing. As far as like for example, for today, our topic is cost per acquisition. And at least I know for us, we're planning on, well, at least for us, we're willing to spend a certain amount of money per email to get those email subscriptions to in order to grow our newsletter. As far as what I have experience with is um, usually a lot of things related to marketing. Okay, let me step back. People tend to just go based off of their budget and just plan their campaigns around their budget. But in order to distinguish the better and more experienced and more strategic marketers versus like, the ones who just kind of broadly market and know and understand a little bit about marketing or just do a very basic campaign for marketing. The really good ones are the ones who've had experience with measuring their cost per lead and cost per acquisition, and they have a lot of experience with specific platforms. So I'm to my knowledge, as far as people that I know that heavily focus on paid ads and consultants that I've worked with, and also clients that I've worked with, they're willing to spend a certain amount of money in order to acquire a customer, and as long as they get that customer, they're happy, right? Because each customer has a certain value. um, let's say a D2C brand, there's a lifetime value for one customer, and they have to measure their marketing around that and how much they're willing to spend in order to acquire that if they're going to get this much of return. And so same thing with like for example, a lawyer. That's obviously more of a high ticket type of customer. Um, Average cost or average win or settlement could be 10,000 plus. Who knows? Like sometimes a million. But you want to, let's just say your based return, like per customer, can be the total amount of how much they cost, how much they will spend in a year. Sorry, not cost, but the cost to acquire them, you have to ask yourself, like, okay, I'm willing to spend $1 per lead or $1 per customer. And it just really depends on your company and your brand. For me, I'm willing to spend, let's say if I were to plan an event, I'm willing to spend a couple thousand and invite just a few. I'll have a small group of people that's within my customer audience. This is just, obviously this is not online ads, but this is just an example of what I would do for a small event for high ticket clients. But it's worth it to me if each client is worth 100,000 or more. Maybe even if I just had secured or closed a deal on 50,000 for a client, that kind of thing. So like it's worth it to me to spend that much. It just depends on what you're willing to spend per acquisition. So that was one of the topics we were going to talk about, and Ali and we can dive into it more when we're actually on. But as far as where we're at with, let's see, if we were to look, and I know one of our topics that I saved in planning for next year, because we decided, at least for me, next week is right after the winter break or Christmas holidays, and the kids are off. So for a couple weeks, it's about 3 weeks, they'll be back home most of the time. And so we will be off next week. We're not gonna hop online and do a live, and I'm not gonna hop on and do a live possibly on the 3rd. It just depends. But so we'll see you in the new year, but we are still going to be publishing daily for our newsletters, and I'm getting more organic growth. I'm getting we've bumped up. We are getting more subscribers than unsubscribers, which is great. And most of our unsubscribers have been people who probably signed up for a giveaway. So we're going to start rolling out more for giveaways. Because we bumped up, like we doubled our subscription numbers, and within maybe we just had like 24% or even less that unsubscribed at some point, because obviously they signed up for just the free giveaway. And so we're going to try to like get more, hopefully we'll get a couple hundred each giveaway, and we'll see what happens with that. And but yeah, I mean, we've had some really good click-through rates and open rates after 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and sometimes between 5:30 and 5:30. I try to go no later than that, and just that way, people can still read it. We still get people opening it after the, within the next day. So I don't know. Give me some feedback, guys. Like, if you guys like it in the mornings, we could try to aim for that. I just, like I said before, I don't want to compete with other newsletters that are publishing early in the morning, and then you've got people opening probably 20 plus emails every morning, and I don't want to compete with their attention. And we are getting higher click-through rates in the evening. So 40 to 50% open rate, and also click-through rates are a lot higher than just like a couple. When I used to publish in the mornings, I would probably get 1 or 2 clicks, or even if it was earlier, like 3 o'clock, it was just like less activity. But when it was closer to the evening, because of the genre and the voice that we have, it works really well in the evening. So it's like leisurely, but it's still informational. It's business. It's all about tech, and we just want people to feel like they've learned something new about Tallahassee and also North Florida area, and sometimes even about Florida. If we see anything that's interesting that's happening in Florida related to business, tech, and lifestyle, then I want to share it. So we're pushing through, and we're just going to keep going and see where it goes. And so as far as, let's see, because I want to answer some questions that someone sent to me. Let me see here. I know I sent, I actually answered a few questions in past recordings, and so I didn't finish, but I'm going to go ahead and answer some of them right here while we're at it. One of the questions that was asked is, how do you approach project management to ensure both creativity and efficiency? The tools that I use ensure are Monday.com. It's definitely on the pricey side as you add more users, but I really like how we've been able to just document everything and just keep track of where things are at with all the different lives that I run and all the content that we plan for and client work. And then I know that we're experimenting with Notion, but we haven't fully implemented it yet. I know Notion has been a great resource for solopreneurs. So if you're starting fresh, starting new, I like Google Docs if you don't want to pay for anything right now. And Google Docs has been a great, even for managing the more detailed things. And if you don't want to have to go into a platform like Monday, which is like super detailed, it's more ideal for developers and or maybe bigger companies too. I think Google Docs is the way to go to manage just like a more broad plan. And Notion is, I think Google Docs is starting to look more like Notion, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting to see like how Notion will have to compete with Google Docs, because Google Docs is free. And then of course you can do a lot more in storage. You can do a lot more when you pay for Google Drive. And Asana, ClickUp, I've recommended in the past too. Asana is also a great tool for those starting out, but I feel like Monday and Asana are also one of those things that is like they're competing with each other, but Monday's really taking off. Now I used to be Asana before, and then I changed over to Monday. So those are just different tools that you can test out for free. And then that way, usually like there's a philosophy that, creatives, well, not, it's more like a kind of a half-truth myth, if there's such a thing. And creatives, yes, we are like disorganized sometimes, but people keep saying that I'm organized. I don't like to claim that, but people do. And for me, my like level of ADHD is, I am not professionally diagnosed with it, but I'm pretty sure I do. And then my husband was like, "Yeah, Julia, maybe you do have something going on there," because carrying conversation with me is like all over the place, as you can see. But what some of the things that helps me with managing the different things in life, personal and all that, is because I have to have it, documented somewhere. So that's why I recommend these tools. And it helps with creativity because it it helps you release whatever that thought and idea that you have in your mind, and it's somewhere. If you store it somewhere, if you document it somewhere, it's not just on a random piece of paper, it's saved. And then you could share it with your team once you start working with people. That also helps. Efficiency is all about systematizing everything. And so to me, it's one of those long-term investments that everybody should be doing, um, especially for smaller teams or solopreneurs and creatives. Efficiency really comes down to like just documenting from the beginning. Like, what is your process? If you were to tell someone and teach somebody how to do what you do, or at least the most menial tasks, and just like the easier to delegate tasks, that's how you'll get more efficient. And so, and learning how to prioritize on the most important things and not thinking that you have to do every single thing, right? Anyways, I hope that answers your question. I answered, let's see, I know I talked about before. Yeah, okay, so there's another video coming out that I already shot with a friend, and he's going to answer the question about how I engage with the local and global creative community. Obviously, social media is part of it. And then I know there's another question that someone sent me, and it is, how do you measure success in a creative business? To me, like everybody has their different levels of success, and some like to use money as a metric, but I think I really like it when I see somebody who's watching. Thank you for joining me, whoever you are. um, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a question. Anyway, so yeah, as far as measuring success goes, like I remember somebody saying maybe success is you're able to have the time that and one of my main goals is I would have the time to be able to give to my family. And I have no complaints. I'm able to give my kids rides in the morning. My husband and I are, we tag team on everything related to carpool and planning everything. And, we're managing to have a, decent lifestyle between the two of us, and with my husband's job, and then for me running this business really on unlimited time, because I've already delegated to multiple team members. I'm thankful for the experience that I've had to manage the team. And then also to be able to just take my kids to their practices whenever they need, and I have to manage around, I was just reminding my husband, I have to manage over 75 appointments between when I say 6 of us, that's not including Philip. It's actually 6 of us, including my dog, Holly. So, between all the appointments, like a dentist, eye appointment, regular well checks, and, orthodontist is a separate thing, and physicals for sports, and my self-care appointments, it's a lot of appointments every year. And so, in order to be able to have that time and even managing it and even, taking the dog to the vet and hair appointments, things like that. It's just like a lot. So I have to be very smart where I invest my time and money in, and I put a lot of time and energy into developing a team so that they can help me run things that I don't have time to do myself. And so that's been really rewarding to get that off the ground. And yeah. So as far as measuring success, like that's the success that I've reached so far. And I'm still like my bigger goals is to hit a certain amount of revenue within the next few years so that I can also save up for the kids' colleges and everything like that. So yeah, anyways, like I think that everyone can, you know, everyone could determine a level of success that they want to reach. Some are super ambitious and they want to earn a certain amount of money, and that's okay. But I don't have to have that. I just know that for us as parents, like we have to earn a certain amount of money to be able to take care of our kids until they're able to take care of themselves. And also, we're that generation. We have to take care of our baby boomer parents, right? And so we have our kids and our baby boomer parents that we also have to take care of in our extended family that we would love to continue to support. So anyways, I hope that answered your question regarding that. And I'll save some other questions for you. I believe I answered an email. Thanks again for sending me your questions. If there's anything else, we would love to help you out with everything related to content marketing and communication. I'll see you guys next time. And you know what? I might do a surprise live to announce our winner from the drawing. So that's it. I'm going to keep it short, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. See you later. Bye.